Okay, we'll now be on the record on 2023 TR 3256, State of Kansas versus Tyler Lyle Bohan. Jared Regier for the state. Tyler Lyle Bohan, are you here? Mr. Ruckle, you are in a court of law. In our court of law, we do not smoke, and we certainly don't drink. That looks, Jeremy Ruckle, you're smoking, and it looks like drinking from a flask of alcohol. Start your audio, please.
I'm not drinking.
We're on the record in 22 TR 62. State of Kansas versus Jeremy D. Ruckle. Jared Regier for the state. Jeremy D. Ruckle in person and pro se. Mr. Ruckle, I certainly saw smoke, a white object that looked like a cigarette go into your mouth and smoke come out through your nose. I then saw you pick up a flask and tip it towards your mouth. Typically, we don't carry water in flasks. Usually about the only thing people carry in those is alcohol. But like I said, maybe you had orange juice in there, but in any event, your conduct could be considered contentious by smoking, at least in court. So let's not do that anymore. Now,
Okay.
You are charged in count 1 on November 23rd, 2021, with driving while your license was suspended after having previously driven just 3 days earlier and been convicted, I should say, 3 days earlier in Hayes Municipal Court for driving while suspended. This is elevated to a Class A non-person misdemeanor. If convicted, you could serve up to a year in the county jail, but you would have to serve, no getting around it, at least 5 days in jail. Your fine could be up to $2,500. In count 2, you're accused of driving on that same day while you were declared an habitual violator. Another Class A misdemeanor with another year in the county jail and another $2,500 fine. Count 3, driving that same day without insurance, a Class B misdemeanor. If convicted, up to 6 months in the jail and another $1,000 fine. In count 4, on that same day, operating that vehicle without a valid tag and registration, an unclassified misdemeanor. If convicted, you could serve 30 days to another 6 months in jail and pay another fine up to $2,500. Mr. Ruckle, do you intend to have an attorney or represent yourself in this matter?
I'd like to have an attorney.
Are you going to hire an attorney or apply for?
No, I need a court appointed.
Are you employed?
No.
How long have you been unemployed?
8 months.
And why are you not working?
Currently looking for a job. It's just hard.
Not finding many people that are hiring, are you?
Yeah, pretty much. Everything's slow right now for the stuff that I do.
Oh, what kind of stuff do you do?
Construction.
Construction is slow?
Yep.
Construction has been slow for the last 8 months? Are you married or single?
Married.
And does your spouse work?
She just started a job.
Is that her that I just heard speak?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why did she have to tell you she just started a job? You didn't know that?
I mean, I do, but
Where did she start working, if you know?
last week,
No, where? Where is she working?
oh, she's a in-home health aide for a friend of hers.
She started taking care of a friend who qualifies for in-home health.
Yes.
Okay, and what does she make per month?
So like around $2,000 a month.
No, it's not $2,000. It's like 1,400 a month.
Yeah, 1,400 a month.
But I also have a child support that comes out because I have 3 children that are in state custody.
Can we put the camera on her, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
What's your name?
My name is Samantha
Okay,
Ruckle.
Samantha Ruckles, okay. So you've just started a job and you're gonna support your husband, your family, and your 3 children in state's custody on $1,400, is that right?
Yes, I have back child support and current child support that comes out of that paycheck every week.
All right, no other income?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and back to Mr. Ruckles,
Okay.
or Mr. Ruckle, it's one Ruckle, isn't it? Okay. All right, so Mr. Ruckle, you don't, again, have any income other than what your wife has just started making?
Yes, Your Honor. That's all we have. But I'm
right.
currently looking for a job, so.
A job in construction?
Yep.
Okay.
Your Honor, he has an interview Friday with Key Construction here in Wichita.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to appoint Attorney Darren Patterson.
I need a pen.
You don't have a pen or paper handy?
Yes.
I do.
I have paper. Okay, I don't know where the pen went. Let me get a different. Because the pen disappeared. Go ahead, tell her to go ahead. I'll get it.
You can go ahead.
Well, I want to give it to you and you can write it down. Tell me when you're ready, when she has it.
All right, I got it. I'm ready.
The name again is Darren, D-A-R-R-E-N. Is she writing that down or are you?
Yes.
Yes, I got it.
Patterson, P-A-T-T-E-R-S-O-N.
Yep.
316-322-7700.
Okay.
Your next court date is Monday, March 18, 2024 at 8 a.m. Call Mr. Patterson's office as soon as you leave this hearing and tell him that he's been appointed and give him your contact information.
Okay.
We'll continue the bond, your $3,000 bond, on the condition that you do what I've told you to do today and that you honor all existing bond conditions. Mr. Regier, anything further from the state?
Your Honor, if the court is ordering that the prior bond be continued with all prior conditions, I'm assuming that would include all standard conditions. The appearance bond is a format that I am somewhat unfamiliar with.
All prior conditions, no alcohol, no illegal drugs, no violations of the law, no driving unless your license is valid and your car has tags and insurance that are valid. Reappear at the time I told you to. And sir, I don't have the, where are you, what town are you living in?
Wichita, Kansas, ma'am.
I'm going to order that you appear in person at the next hearing. Get someone who's valid to drive and has a valid vehicle to drive you over here in person, please.
Okay.
All right. If there's nothing further, we're in recess at this time on the Ruckle matter. You may go, Mr. Ruckle.
Will you hand me my spin box?
All right, good morning, Mr. Billberry.
Morning, Your Honor.
All right, we are on the record in the matter of the City of Wyandotte versus Benjamin Billberry, 231234.
Yes,
Your Honor,
ma'am.
good morning. Richard T. Serrano, P33828. Today, Your Honor, I appear as MIBC counsel on behalf of my client, President in custody in the Wayne County Jail. This is the date and time set for pretrial. And please state your name, sir.
Benjamin Eugene Billberry.
Okay, thank you. And today is the date scheduled for the pretrial counsel. And as to the pretrial.
Your Honor, I've spoken to the prosecutor. My client is going to plead guilty as charged one count of public intoxication. He understands that he's waiving all his constitutional rights. Get advised up, and we're ready for the court's examination.
Sir, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, thank you. And you heard the plea that your attorney placed on the record, correct?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I did not understand that.
You heard the plea that your attorney placed on the record, correct?
Yes,
And as to the amended as to the charge of public intoxication, how do you plead?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
And you've gone over your advice and rights with your attorney, correct?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
And you understand all of those rights.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Also understand by entering into a plea that you'll be waiving some of those rights, specifically your trial and appellate rights.
Excuse me again?
That you'll be waiving some of those rights, specifically your trial and appellate rights.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, and you also understand that by entering into a plea, you understand the possible penalty, whether in this court or any other court in the state of Michigan.
I understand, Your Honor.
And knowing all that, do you want to continue with your plea?
I'll take the plea as guilty. Yes, I do continue.
Okay, any immigration issues, counsel?
No, they're not.
And has anybody promised you anything, threatened you, or coerced you in any way, sir, for you to enter into a plea?
Absolutely, absolutely not, Your Honor.
All right, counsel, please party your client.
Belgrade, on June 1st, 2023, were you in the city of Wyandotte?
Yes, sir, I was.
And at that time, in the evening, did you have contact with some police officers?
Yes, I have.
And upon them further investigating you, they found you sitting and stumbling, and had you been drinking alcoholic beverages prior to the stop?
Yes, I have, sir, I have.
And you had drank quite a bit, correct?
Yes, I have. I had a half a pint.
Right. And so the officers took you into custody for your own safety because you were intoxicated in public. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, it was.
I'm satisfied.
The court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. And the court will accept the plea as charged, dismiss the original charge. I'm sorry, there's nothing to dismiss. And counsel ask you sentencing. Would you like the court to proceed with immediate sentencing, or would you like to set this for a date?
Your Honor, with no objection to immediate sentencing, if the court pleases.
What would you like this court to know, counsel?
Well, he tells me he's been in custody approximately 9 days. He has no other matters pending. He tells me he's had quite a lengthy criminal history, Your Honor. The blow on the preliminary breath test was very, very high. So I think he has a problem with alcohol. Most courts would say, we don't care if you drink yourself to death, do it at home. Don't take it on the road. Fortunately, he was walking in this occasion. Don't take it in public. So, Your Honor, we ask the court to consider time served, or give him a fine and read the post, Your Honor. Let him get the treatment that he needs. Thank you. He's also on Social Security disability, Your Honor. He gets about $950 a month, single, no children.
So you were 0.309.
Yes, Your Honor. I just drank that half a pint, and I didn't. And I just left the hospital, and they sent me home, and so I was staggering down the street, and I went and laid underneath the tree behind the gas station because I knew I was still too intoxicated to try to walk back to my apartment in Lincoln Park. So I sat there and laid down, and yes, I did fall on the way to get to the gas station, right in front of your department. I was sitting underneath the palm tree. Underneath a pine tree, and I sat there because I was trying to sober up. But somebody see me fall on the way there, and that's why the police showed up. I was literally trying to sober up before I left, but the hospital sent me home before they should have. They should let me stay there and sober up. But I had to take it upon myself to find a spot to sit still.
Sir, hold on one moment, hold on.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to the hospital for medical treatment?
Yes, I did. I had them call me because my side nerve was hurting. That's one of the reasons why I drank. I was self-relying on self-medicating, which was dumb for me to do.
Okay, sir, sir. What time did you get to the hospital?
I don't have my band anymore. They cut it off on me when I got to the hospital. When I got there.
Approximately what time?
I want to say before noon.
Okay, and then you were released around what time?
I want to say about an hour after I got there, or so.
Okay. And so you drank a half a pint before you got to the hospital,
Yes, I did.
and that's all you had was a half a pint.
At that particular time, that's all I had. I just slammed it in Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park. I went to the police station, had the police station get me a ride to the hospital because I was hurt.
So you didn't call the ambulance. You went to the Lincoln Park Police Department, and then
Asked for help. They sent me to the hospital. The hospital released me about an hour or so after I got there.
so you want me to believe that you drank only a half a pint and you got a .309 a couple hours later.
Ma'am, I
Sir,
believe it.
you have a lot more proof than that.
Ma'am, said it again. I apologize if I was wrong. I mean, it's been so long. I don't know if it was a half a pint or a pint, but I believe it was a half a pint. I could be wrong. I apologize.
Okay.
I apologize. It could have been a pint.
Sir, you have an issue with alcohol.
Yes, I do.
And at what point do you want to get some resolution with that issue?
I go to AA once every other week, and I'm around alcoholics everywhere I go. Even when I went to rehab, there's alcoholics in there. And when I hear about
there's individuals that are in recovery in rehab. You are correct.
Say that again. Yes, there are some that actually do. There are some that sneak away and go get it.
All right, here's the court. Let's see. Your client was arrested on December 11th on the warrant because he had failed to appear on August 15th, and the court issued a warrant. The court's going to, based upon the defendant's criminal history, as well as the circumstances regarding this matter, the court's going to order 60 days jail. We're going to waive the fines and costs. He'll have credit for 9 days. All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, let's go off the record. Council, I'll see you in the, you as well. And we are on the record in the matter of the city, City of Wyandotte versus David Brownley, 232465A and B. And Mr. Gopal?
Thank you, Ron. John Goldfarb, P30758 on behalf of Mr. Brownley.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Brownley, your name for the record, please.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is David William Brownley.
Okay, and so today is the date that we have Mr. Brownley before the court. The court is going to make a record that on December 12th, defendant zoomed in. Actually, on November 30th, Mr. Brownley was arraigned. This court issued a $15,000 10% bond. And there was a surety bond posted. And it showed a Zoom ID. So Mr. Brownley zoomed in from what he claimed was a hotel room at the Wyndham Garden in Romulus. This court advised Mr. Brownley he was to appear in person. And this court ordered Mr. Brownley to appear in person. And the court, as of 4:30 p.m., defendant had not appeared. And due to Mr. Brownley's criminal history, as well as the danger to the community, the court issued a warrant immediately. The case had not been called on the record. And counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, if the court may recall, I was present in court on other matters that afternoon. I've spoken to Mr. Brownley. I see that a warrant was issued and the bond was set at $25,000 10%. And he was picked up, I guess, by the Brownstown or some other police department. Your Honor, I've spoken to Mr. Brownley. He indicates obviously that this was a problem that he created. However, those problems were, and it was not an attempt to affront the court. We're asking that the original bond of 10%, the original bond of $15,000, 10% or the bond be reinstated, and he be allowed to appear at another pretrial. Of course, this would be in person. Is that correct, Mr. Brownley?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, well, Mr. Goldpaul, what you may or may not be aware of is Mr. Brownley has a matter in the 25th District Court to which Judge Clifton had to recuse himself. The whole court was disqualified because of the named victim, that there was a conflict with the named victim. So that matter got reassigned to this court. So the very next day after December 12th, this court sat at the 25th District Court for Mr. Brownley's case there. That was in person, never a question as to whether that was a Zoom or not, and he didn't show up for that one either. And so I had to sit for a case in Southgate today, and then Mr. Brownley appeared on Zoom over there for an arraignment on this matter from the 25th District Court because Mr. Holmberg was already over there as the MIDC attorney. Now, Mr. Brownley, where was it that you were at on December 20th when you Zoomed in?
When I zoomed in for court, ma'am, I was at the Wyndham Gardens Hotel in Romulus, Michigan on Henry
Your
Road.
Honor, Mr. Brownley, Your Honor, did you say the 20th or did you mean the 12th?
I'm sorry, the 12th. The 12th.
Thank you.
And that was my last day at that hotel. After that, I was homeless for 2 days, and then finally I was able to reach out to my family and just beg them for help.
Okay, sir, let me be very clear to you. Let me be very clear. You may think I might be naive, an idiot, I don't know. But I'm very well aware that the Wyndham Garden does not have ceiling fans, nor do they have dark brown ceiling fans, nor do they have anything that is on the walls as such that you had on the walls in your background on that day. So let's be real. And where were you, sir?
I'm being honest with you. I don't know why you're making me or trying to make me think that I want you to think that you're naive or anything along those lines. I think of nothing but respect for you. And I'm being honest. To be completely fair with you today, I honestly wanted just to retract my not guilty plea, have a one-on-one negotiation with you so we can get to a global resolution in this case. And then that way, you know what I'm saying, it makes the court's life and my life easier for me to move on and try to become a better person when I get out of jail. Knowing that I have another court case pending that will have restitution enabled. I understand that you don't like sentencing without an updated PSI. Although I wish for you to understand that if you would be willing to just accept my guilty plea for the driving while license suspended, loitering, and for the paraphernalia, I'm not asking anything from you except for just for you to impose your disposition so that we can get this case cleared. Just leaving just the last to go.
So let me be very clear. Perhaps to your surprise, perhaps not, I don't know, but I contacted the Wyndham Garden Hotel because I wanted to confirm if in fact you were there. They would not confirm if you were there or not, but then I went one step further and asked if any of the rooms have ceiling fans. And the lady laughed at me and said, absolutely not. So you were not there. You were not in the Wyndham Garden in Romulus. So where were you? You want this court to believe you for credibility purposes when I'm assessing bond. Where were you?
I was at that building. There's two sets of hotels. It was in the same parking structure. They just bought out the new one. I had gotten a week's stay, and the one over while they're renovating it that's half done, that's the one I got. And I got a good rate on it for only $250 a month or $250 a week. I'm telling you, I'm not lying to you. My grandfather first.
$250 for the week at the Wyndham Garden.
Yes, when normally we were paying $325. And that was the best rate we were getting on Priceline.com. I'm telling you that I'm not lying to you. I have no reason to lie and specify a certain place that I wasn't at. I'm being honest with you. I'm 100 with you. And at the end of the day, like I said, I'm not trying to avert anything more with you. I really honestly wish you could allow me to, accept my guilty plea today so that we can just get this done and over with. I am clean. I'm not doing any drugs. I want to get my life in order. I want to eventually get out of this situation so I can go back to work, try to help the girls pay the property taxes so we can at least get back into the home somehow. I mean, I got to do something responsible. To me, just accepting guilt and taking accountability today to you, that's the best I can do. Would you be willing to accept that? Because I was driving while my license was suspended knowingly. I did have a chore boy, which was a part of a crack pipe in my person. And I was around somebody who did have drugs on them. Nobody made any promises or threats for me to make this today. This is honestly like the best I can to stand up and be an adult and take accountability for my actions. Please let me.
Yes, Your Honor. If the court wishes to have their plea withdrawn, allow him to enter that plea. I have not discussed this with him. I'm here only for his bond issue, but obviously, at this point, he can, I guess, do what he wishes with respect to that. If the court wishes to, he obviously knows all of his responsibilities. He also knows the consequences. And there's always the possibility that you may send him to jail for those violations. I don't think that I have the ability or even the authority, I'm using that word, to say he can't enter into a plea.
Okay, Mr. Brownley, you'd like to enter into a plea. On all these matters, you want to enter into a plea of guilty.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this kind to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do, Your Honor.
All right, would you like an opportunity to speak to your attorney further?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir, as to count A, driving while unlicensed, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
As to count B, possession of drug paraphernalia, how do you plead?
Guilty as charged, Your Honor.
As to loading or drugs are illegally kept, stored, or used, how do you plead?
Guilty as charged, Your Honor.
And you've gone over your advice of rights with your attorney, correct?
I have.
You understand that you have the right to have a trial in this matter by entering into a plea. You will not have that trial.
I do.
You also understand that you have the right to have this matter set for a pretrial, so we don't have to enter into a plea today.
I do.
And you also understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea, whether in this court, any other court, or administrative agency.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And knowing all that, you want to continue with your plea.
Correct. Nobody made me make any threats or promises for me to make this plea. It was 100% willing of my own volitions.
Okay, and there aren't any immigration issues I recall from the last time. And okay, and so you're making this plea knowingly, voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Mr.
No,
Goldfarb, would you like me to what are your claims?
I was provided, Your Honor, I didn't mean to cut the court off. I was provided with a registration of action. So I have the registration, so I know the dates.
Okay.
Mr. Brownley, on 11/30/23, were you driving without a valid driver's license that was suspended.
I was.
And on the same date and time, were you in the possession of drug paraphernalia?
Yes, sir.
And what was that drug paraphernalia?
It was a screen for a crack cocaine pipe.
Thank you. And were you loitering in a place where drugs were kept?
I was.
And you were aware that those drugs were being kept there, and you nevertheless loitered in that location. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Thank you. Defense satisfied, Your Honor. I'm sorry, Your Honor. And while you were driving without a license, you knew you did not have a driver's license. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Defense is satisfied, Your Honor.
All right, the court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea on all counts. And counsel, are you asking for immediate sentencing, or would you like me to schedule this for sentencing?
Well, Your Honor,
I would
guess-
like immediate sentencing, Your Honor.
there you go, Your Honor. He would like immediate sentencing. And the court is obviously aware of the circumstances, having reviewed all these matters.
Okay, what the court is also aware of is that Mr. Brownley has been sentenced in this court to jail time for his possession, the resisting and obstructing an officer matter. It looks as though the possession was dismissed, and he was released from jail. If I recall correctly, it was about 5 to 7 days before this incident on November 30th. Would that be correct, sir?
It is, Your Honor. I'm at your disposal 100% for whatever you feel is fair and fit for me to get to the next step for myself.
Okay, and then Mr. Brownley is arrested, and again with drug paraphernalia, and with two of the 3 individuals he was with were also with him at the last time that he had his matter with the possession and the resisting and obstructing. And so based upon that recent conviction and jail time, and as well as Mr. Brownlee's criminal history, this court is going to sentence Mr. Brownley to 93 days jail, which is the maximum that this court can sentence him to.
May I receive the credit from the 30th to the point in time that I had bonded out?
We would be asking for that, Your Honor. Credit for that time served that he's been incarcerated.
You get credit for 6 days, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, those are 93 days on each matter to run concurrent?
93 days each count. Court will order that it's concurrent.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. May I ask one more question, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Is there any way that you would make
I'm sorry, I lost you there, Your Honor.
I have no idea where, okay, hold on, he's back to here.
happen on our end?
Okay, I'm sorry, what was that, sir?
Okay, my question was for you, is there any way that you'd be able to extend yourself in terms for, would you allow a monetary exchange for the days that I would have to serve? Maybe half, where I would maybe get a 45 days reduced if I would be willing to or able to pay $500? Something to that effect?
Absolutely not, sir, we're not bartering. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Yes, ma'am.
Perhaps you may want to ask for treatment while you're in custody, because you weren't even out a week and you have the same type of offense. So no, there is no bartering. There's no money in exchange for not going to jail. No. And in fact, the court's suspending your fines and costs, so you don't even have to worry about that.
I understand. It was just a simple question. I did not mean to disrespect you.
No disrespect, not saying anything.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you, Your Honor.
all right, have a good day, off the record.
And Your Honor, as I said earlier today, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I will see you after the first of the year, unless I get another.
Hold on, I thought you're back tomorrow.
No, I'm not there tomorrow, Your Honor.
Well, return our computer mouse, please, before you go anywhere else.
I know, I will make sure that it gets delivered. Sorry about that. Thank you, Your Honor.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You have got to be kidding me. What is going on today? This is a joke. This is a joke. Today is an absolute joke. He needs an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself sometimes.
Oh my God, sir, put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of this. What is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Reed, we're going to start bringing people in person. People going to learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am? Ma'am, can you hear it?
No, I know.
Okay.
I have no patience for that. But trust me, out of the day, I'm sitting up here, I'm the one that needs the drink.